Yeah, buddy. CSFL, buddy. Yo. Alright, so what I want to get into right away is these standings, and then we're going to look at the regular season schedule for the last games left. 2 weeks left in the regular season. And holy smokes, man, is this an incredible season. Super competitive. The last seasons were very competitive, but this might be the most competitive, man. 5 teams with 5 wins. 5 teams are 1 win away from second place. 2 teams are tied at second place with 6 wins. And number 1 seed is only 1 game up with 7 wins. Super exciting to see a lot of teams dominate here. At the bottom of the list, sorry to say it, but the werewolves and the demons have officially clinched the first and second picks in the draft. Excuse me. They're officially out. But the rhinos and the gators are still mathematically in it. They could finish the season 6-5. But they got quite a big hill in front of them, and they got quite a lot of teams in front of them. Will one of these 5-4 teams fall off? Will one of these 4-5 teams rise up? But the werewolves and demons clinched the first and second pick in the season 5 draft. But one thing I want to show you before we move on to the I'm going to talk about the schedule. I want to show you one last thing. Right over here. Check this out. Boom. 5-0 piranhas at home. And they're 0-4 on the road. They have not won a road game yet. And they've not lost at home, which is a very cool stat to see. A lot of teams actually playing really well at home this season. 4-1 Scorpions, 4-1 Wildcats, 4-1 Cobras, and 4-1 Demons, and 3-1 Vipers. Who has not played well at home. The Werewolves have not played well all season though, but they have yet to win a home game, which is brutal for the home team. The Demons got their win, their upset win there. Big win for them, their first win of the season, and it was at home. So luckily in front of the old hometown. Yeah, look at this. The Rhinos and the Gators not playing well at home. 1-3 at home. Ouch. Okay, and then we'll go take a look at the road. 4-1 Vipers on the road here. 3-2 Bears. 3-2 Blue Jays. Gators, Rhinos, all 3-2 as well. And yeah, they're playing really well at the road, but they are not playing well at home, the Gators and Rhinos, which I didn't realize until seeing this, which a lot of you probably didn't realize either. 0-4. Obviously, the Demons are 0-5 because they only have 1 win this season, but the Piranhas are 5-0 on the road, but 0-5 or 0-4, 5-0 at home, and 0-4 on the road. Wow, super cool. Anyways, Cobras as well. Now look at this. They're kind of the other side. The Dragons and the Cobras are on the other side of the coin as the Gators and the Rhinos, where the Rhinos and Gators don't play well at home, play good on the road. These two teams now, these Cobras and Dragons, are two good home teams that do not play well on the road. So that is really cool to see as well, which I never really realized until looking at this. So I thought a few of you would appreciate that. Alright, now let's get into the standings. We'll get into the stats. I'm going to do another video right after this about the stats, but the Bears going against the Piranhas and the Cobras. Man, this is a tough schedule for these Bears. Are the Bears in trouble? I'm going to say yes. The Bears are in trouble. They're 5-4. They've lost 2 in a row. They're going against a tough team. They're going against a tough team in the Piranhas there, and that are kind of starting to get their mojo. And honestly, the Cobras are no freaking slack. The Cobras have been playing really well as well. But the Bears are the Bears, and we'll see this. This is going to be a big game for the standings, man. Two 5-4 teams facing each other. One's going to go way down the standings, and the other one's going to literally go right to the top three, right? So that's really exciting to see the Bears. What are they going to do? Let's move on to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays going against the Wildcats and going against the Piranhas again. Two teams with 5+ wins. Are the Blue Jays in trouble? I'm going to say, yeah, they are. Everybody's in trouble. No one's safe. So, but the Blue Jays going against the Wildcats and going against the Piranhas, they're on that 5-4 cusp. Everyone's on that itch, man. So there's only 2 weeks left. So none of these 5-4 teams have made the playoffs technically, right? Like they could drop out. So it's still wide open with 2 weeks left, which is super exciting to see. The Cobras, again, really strong defensive team that has got their offense going now and doing really well. Really excited to see these guys. Won 3 out of their last 4, as you can see there. Going against the Demons should be a good game there, and going against the Bears that have struggled to lose too. I'm going to say the Cobras are safe. They're not safe, like obviously no one's safe because they're 5-4. Obviously they could lose, but looking at the schedule, looking at how they've been playing, I think the Cobras are looking good. Looking good right now to make the playoffs. The Demons, as we discussed, missed the playoffs and will get one of the 1 and 2 picks in this coming draft. But they're playing spoiler right now. Can they spoil the dreams of these Rhinos here that are 4-5 and need to win out? They could spoil them. Can the Cobras, beat these Demons, or will the Demons get an upset win against them? That's really big for the Demons. Can they go out with a positive note, maybe play some rookies or try something different to see what they're going to plan for next year? Demons are out of the race. Dragons, man, they're turned it up. Look at this. 3 out of their last 4, they've won. I got the pasties. 3 out of the last 4, the Dragons, man. And now they're going against the really strong Vipers right now, and then they're going against the Gators. I think the Dragons look good. I think the Dragons, even losing this game here or maybe winning the next game, they're going to win one of these 2. They play the Vipers hard. Ever since season 1, they always play really close games. The Dragons, man, are looking really strong, picking up momentum coming into this time of the year when you want to get hot. So that's really exciting to see for these Dragons, man. Look out for these Dragons. Gators, their schedule looks good. They got 2 games left. Can they win out and finish 6-5? They're 4-5. Devastating loss against the Scorpions. They're 2-2 in the last 4 games. Really close games. The 13 versus the 20, should I say, against the Vipers, and then playing against the Rhinos in another really close game that they ended up winning. But the Scorpions, man, really took it to them. And will they have a bounce back game here against the Werewolves? And can they go against this really strong Dragons? Can they win out? I think they got a pretty favorable matchup. The Gators look good to win out. That's for sure, because they play the Dragons really well, and the Werewolves have been struggling. So can the Gators pull it back, man? Their rookie quarterback has been struggling, but I think they can get a chance to maybe make a late push. If not, they're going to get a high draft pick either way. Piranhas looking really strong. They're going against 2 really good teams, though. The Bears and the Blue Jays. Honestly, I could see the Piranhas losing both of these games. Will they win? Time will tell. They've won 3 of their last 4. It's still the Piranhas. They still got Alonzo Graham. They still got Willie Burnside. They got the big names. But can this defense hold these offenses down, because they've been letting up a lot of points as well? Bears looking like they're struggling. Can the Bears have a bounce back game against the Piranhas? I don't know. Can the Piranhas beat these Blue Jays, who've been playing really well on offense and defense? I don't know. Piranhas, they're in trouble. we'll see what they can do if they can make a late push here in the season. They're 5-4 team, right on the cusp. Rhinos lost now 4 in a row. Devastating news for the Rhino land and the final and the Rhinos owner, as we all know. He told us all about it. He's very vocal. Told us all how he feels about it. Feel terrible for his team. So many close losses. Look at them all. 3 loss, 1 touchdown, 10 points, or like look at this, under a touchdown. Really close games there. One of those were overtime. It doesn't show. But now going against the Scorpions, who are really strong, can they get an upset loss against? Can they beat these Scorpions? Because they look favorable going against the struggling Demons, and they play well on the road, as we saw. So they may go to the Demons and play well against them, but the Scorpions game here at home, not playing well at home, can the Rhinos turn it around and win out, man? Because they need to, or their Season 4 dreams may come to an end in Week 10. Anyways, let's move on. Rhinos got to keep their mojo going and turn it on now and never kind of thing. But either way, if they don't, they're still going to end up with a high draft pick. Scorpions looking really strong. 6-3, 1-3 out of the last 4. Not blew out. Well, it is a blowout on paper, 52 to 35 against the Gators. But I don't think it was a blowout. But in my opinion, if you watch the game, the pace of the game, it was a huge game. They scored a ton of points, and they look stronger than ever now. Now getting their new quarterback in, which there was the only position they were struggling with, these Scorpions. Now they got 2 road games to finish the season. One against these desperate Rhinos that you know are going to fight to the bit. Then not an easier game, no easy games, but they're going against a struggling Werewolves team, looking really favorable to get 7, even maybe 8 wins, finishing 8-3, possibly these Scorpions. Man, Scorpions looking really strong to make a real big push here in the late half of the season. And then the arguably the best team, if not the best team of Season 4 so far, and they are the number 1 seed at 7-2. 3 of the last 4, and even that one that they lost was to the Scorpions that are 6-3, and they're a really good team, and they only lost by 3 points. So they are a really good team, and now they're going against 2 really good teams again. The strong Dragons and the really strong Wildcats. Man, it's going to be an uphill battle, but which is really cool to think about is that they're the first seed right now. They could potentially lose this next game to the Dragons, go 7-3. The Wildcats at 6-3 could win, and then they're 7-3, and then they both meet in the last week of the season, both 7-3, playing for the first seed. One will be 8-3, and one will finish 7-4. That might be an exciting finish for this season to come down to, which is kind of looking that way now. Now that I look at it a little closer, Wildcats looking really strong, all sides of the ball, at all positions, at every aspect. The Vipers having a historic year, a season, and man, it's a tough last 2 games for them. This is definitely no walk. They can't take these weeks off and bench nobody. That's for sure. These 2 games matter big time for them on who they're going to match up against in the playoffs. And then finally we got the Werewolves, one more team there. Werewolves, they got that 1 win against the Demons, but the Demons are also 1-8. They've been struggling, there's no doubt. There's no other way to say it. They've been struggling offensively though. Their running back and quarterback have really had a hard time finding their identity, and there isn't really much on offense when it comes to receivers, when we're talking big threats, in my opinion, that haven't really displayed that. Not that it's not there, but they haven't displayed it. Their defense, top though. Top notch. Keeps them in the games. They play really well, but they let up 49 points last week against the Werewolves, or against the Vipers, these Werewolves, and now going against a really desperate team in the Gators, and going against a top-tier team with the Scorpions this season. Werewolves definitely in trouble. they've missed the play. They missed the playoffs, but can they play spoiler here and finish on a high note? Can they experiment with some rookies? Can they try something to kind of see which direction they want to go in next season and who they want to keep and get excited about the draft coming up in a short 3 weeks, in a short 3 week playoff run. Werewolves, man, tough season for sure, tough season, but they fought it out, and their defense, man, should keep their head high. Offense could look for some changes. And then finally, the Werewolves, we'll leave it at this note. The Werewolves, really strong team. They can play defense, but will their offense wake up? Their offense is so spotty. It's all over the place. Sometimes they play really well, score 50 points against the Dragons, and then can't score more than 13 points against the Bears, or can't get over that 30 mark point against the Demons. The Blue Jays are no joke. They are great defensively and offensively and are desperate and need to win this game. It's a very much must win for these Blue Jays, and then they're going against the fucking the Vipers. So if they even can win this game here, can they win out and get that first seed potentially? Not looking good. I think the Wildcats are in trouble because the Blue Jays and the Vipers are no joke, obviously, right? So on that note, there you go. That's my playoff analysis on these next few weeks. That's gonna come up. It's gonna be big.